I mean, welcome back to. If this is your first time, thank you for tuning in, and if this is not your first time, well, thank you for coming back. And there's a really interesting conversation that we have ahead with the great Davisson. I mean, honestly, you look great today, man.
Thanks, you, sir.
You text me, what is the dress code? And I should text you, like, just don't outdress me.
Oh, man.
Because you clearly did.
I apologize. Yeah.
No, honestly.
We can trade shirts, man.
Welcome to the Reach Out podcast, Davisson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
It feels like every time I talk to you, you've gotten busier. And there's amazing projects than the previous time that we talked. So, like, I guess let's start with like telling us a little bit more about you, where you're from, a little bit of like your trajectory, and just what you're working on right now.
Let's see. So, most people don't know is I am born and raised in Houston, Texas. Half my life was in the West Coast of California. So, what am I currently working on? Currently, as you know, I run photography studios.
Yeah.
Right. Been a huge blessing, where it led me today, and it's funded to invest into other things to make bigger things. Right. I'm not very flashy. I like to provide to my family first, and like they come first, and then I come last. That's how I look at it. But recently, we took a step back with me providing to my family because I want to invest into this whole different business venture, which is the app and then the Pilates studio, right? This year has been what I've been working has been crazy. It's the iSoMeet app, the photography studio, and now the Pilates studio, right? Yeah. And there's current other projects, but we don't have to go in detail with that one yet. Like it's I have to tell myself one thing at a time, but at the same time I contradict myself. Because if Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or even Genghis Khan can do so much, I need to do more. I feel like I'm not doing enough, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about that, because when you mentioned all these overachievers and your goal is to overachieve even that more and more and more, where does that come from?
It came from... I never really had to think about it too much. I just do it. Like, I do it for my family. I know that's like sounds so cliche, like, but people say that, but I really intentionally see myself as a serving purpose to my family. Like my parents are divorced, and my mom did so much for us. Right? She took care of 4 kids on her own, didn't know English. Worked at nail salons without a license because she begged nail salon to take her because just so she can work, and they took her in. So she was doing nails with no license illegally, right? But at the same time, she didn't know the regulations. She didn't know the health hazards because she didn't have proper training. So she fell very ill from it. Wow. But no matter how tired she was or how stressful she was, she always came home and took care of us, right? Cooked a meal, dressed us up, and really, really provided. So I wanted to, her sacrifice inspired me to work just as hard, right? Not even think about anything else. So when she got sick, I stepped in and made a decision, all right, I can't focus in high school no more. I got to drop out. So I dropped out on my senior year. I have a GED now, but I took a job opportunity when I was working at RadioShack. They don't exist anymore, but I'm so glad I worked there, right? Because if it wasn't RadioShack, it literally changed my life. Where some guy came in, Frank Kim, if wherever you are, right? Thank you for everything. He came in and he asked about, hey, can anyone fix a laptop? And most of the employees are like, no, it's RadioShack. We don't fix anything. We just replace parts, right? So I took a look at his laptop. It was a simple fix. It was just a DC jack that was bent, fixed it, and he liked that. I actually took the effort, and he invited me out for dinner. He's like, hey, man, you want to just hang out sometime, have dinner? And I was like, in my head, I'm always thinking about money, like in time. Like, I don't think I can afford it, you know? But he said there might be a possible job opportunity he wants to present. I was like, okay, I'll come out, all right? So we go to Red Lobster, and to me, that's a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? I'm looking at the menu. I'm like, Frank, I'm just gonna order a salad. And he was like, no, Davidson, you can order more food. It's on me. I was like, oh, okay, cool, all right. Because to me, that's a lot of money. I think I was only 18 at the time, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I was only 18 at the time. So you know, we're talking. He's telling me about the company that I'm interested in working on, and I'm noticing a couple having a dinner, really nice romantic dinner with a candle and everything. I was like, oh, he got a candle in there. That's pretty cool, right? And the guy was pulling this napkin off his lap and trying to wipe the girl's mouth, you know, being romantic. I was like,
Nice.
that's nice. Anyways, while he was doing that constantly, the napkin got on fire.
Oh.
And he freaked out. He dropped it in the girl's lap, and she was screaming. And I just got up. I grabbed it, threw it to the ground, and started stomping on it because no one was doing anything, right? And I got back down, sat down with Frank. I'm sorry, Frank. And everyone just started clapping, right? And the manager comes out. Dinner's on the house. Thank you for doing that. And Frank was like, looks like you got me dinner. Right? So it was just funny. But anyways, long story short, it was because of him. He offered me to work for his tech company. I knew nothing. I told him, like, I don't know anything. I don't have a proper education. But he said he saw potential in me. I was like, I don't have a car.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was telling me this is in San Diego. He told me, like, to come to Riverside. I was like, I don't have any cash. And I'm at the time, I wasn't as delusional. Right now, I would say I'm delusional. I'm very delusionally happy. Okay. But at the time, I was more like, I can't. And he's like, that's okay. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. So he even offered, like, you know what? Just stay at my place. No. Just stay at my place, figure things out. And because of that, it really paved the way for me in learning more about tech. Sorry, I know that was a long-winded story.
Oh,
yeah,
please.
Didn't even jump to that. But, yeah, I think I forgot your original question, man.
I was just asking. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Yeah. I guess I went really deep into it. Yeah,
that's my favorite type of guest. And like,
yeah.
Let me tell you something. One of the big reasons why I do this project is because I believe that I love to live my life through gratitude, and call it like maybe 95% of that gratitude of everything that has happened in my life. I owe it to other people in one way or another.
Yes.
So I remember one time when I was in between episodes and I was talking to the guest and she was like, you really found the cheat code to networking because you're inviting people out and like you can network and find opportunities out of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I feel like I found the cheat code to being grateful and telling people how much I appreciate them without it coming off as weird.
Yeah, you come out very authentic.
Thank you.
Very authentic. Yeah, I can see that.
That is something that I enjoy a lot. The impact, and I know we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago over the phone, the importance of really understanding the value that other people bring into your life. You mentioned something that kind of struck with me ever since we spoke is like, you were a collection of everyone that you have met.
Yes.
In your life.
Yes.
I want to know what makes you say that and how that concept really gained importance in your life, Davisson.
So I was if you knew me, even at 18 or like even my teens, I was a horrible kid, teenager, person. I wasn't likable. I was very rude. I was very stubborn, very selfish. I was all the problems. Like, even though I knew I wanted to take care of my mom, but I was also a bad son at the same time, argumentative. And I realized I'm not getting my way because I thought that was the way. Fatherless activity, right? My parents were divorced. Didn't really have a real father figure. And I was looking up to the wrong people. I thought you had to be aggressive to get the way you want. So when I say you are a collection of everyone you meet, that's including bad things, right? And I realized I need to be a filter of everyone I meet. So I started asking myself, and I think it was I don't know where I read it or heard it, but there was a neuroscientist that said your brain is almost like a computer. If you ask it the questions, it will give you the answer, instinctively, right? It will just tell you the answer. So I would ask myself, How do I make myself likable? And immediately it popped in, be like these people. Well, who are these people? So I look at these people that are my invisible mentors I didn't even know. They're my phantom mentors. And I like things that they do. And I became a collection of it. Like their personality, their humor, their sarcasms. I will recycle their jokes, but twist it with my own. And that's how I form my personality to be a better person. And that's what I mean by that, right? And that continues to evolve till this day. Like there's some things I take, even from you, even from anyone I meet, even from strangers, like conversation-wise, even from movies. Like it's just funny. Like you could have walked in there like, Davis, that's a nice shirt. Did it make it for men? You know, like stuff like that, little banters, and that becomes a personality trait. So I'm a huge observer. I absorb, I listen, I filter, and I formulate. I see how I can turn it to my advantage or conversational piece, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the right answer you're looking for.
I love that.
That's what I do.
I think that is such a valuable, I want to call it skill, because as we were talking just minutes ago, like it takes a certain amount of resource, like internal resource and time and energy that you dedicate to like self-reflection and exploring that part of like, how does all of these people that I've met in my life, what do I take from them, the good and the bad? It's such a coincidence like that you mentioned that in that particular way, because I can recall a conversation that I had with one of my old managers, and she was asking me, well, are you going to do this podcast thing on your own? Like, is there any way you can do it on your own without any guests? And I was like, honestly, I feel like I'm at the point in my career where if I talk to a student, hey, who do you want to hear from? Do you want to hear from like someone that has experience in the field, someone that has experience in their industry, that has spent years working towards it, or someone that just came out of college and is merely starting their career? I feel like they would choose the first one, right?
Yeah.
But storytelling to me, and being that channel for which a student or a recent grad or anyone that might be listening out there can gain a certain type of value from the guest storytelling, that is where my duty comes from. I don't need to be the one that, or maybe at some point, just go about this podcast explaining my own stories. However, where I was going with this is that my favorite type of learning is learning from other people's experiences,
Yes.
other people's mistakes.
That too.
And obviously, for the longest time, I like to say I like learning the hard way. But that is just, I learned that is maybe like manifesting trouble.
It's that, and it's just not. It's just what I say is not the best optimization.
100%.
Yeah. So yes, from collection, everyone we meet, I learn from their mistakes as well.
Yeah.
I witness how they don't get their way. I witness their results, and the results are not favorable. That's not the approach I take.
Yes.
Yeah. I really, I'm very attentive about that. Intentional.
Davisson, I gotta say, like, I feel really just blessed to have you in my program and people like you, in the sense that I notice how important it is for my audience to gain valuable advice from people that have explored both ways of professionalism, both the 9-to-5 and the corporate route, but also the more fulfilling yet very risky entrepreneurship side of things, right? So I want to know, and I want to ask you, how did you go about that decision, that moment? Take us back to that moment where you were in your corporate job, corporate life, and you wanted to make that transition over to entrepreneurship.
Great question. So as you know, I have a GED. I don't have a degree. So I knew whatever career I go into, or at least I noticed, I always hit that glass ceiling. I can't get any higher because I don't have a degree. So I knew, okay, so I asked myself, what can I do to have a sustainable career, to outgrow it? Because in the tech world, you're going to get laid off at some point. I watch my colleagues got laid off, or my department get laid off, and other companies I work for. There's no job security in any field unless you're a doctor, right? But for the tech field, job security is not 100% unless you're just one of those top tier guys. I wasn't it. So I realized, you know what? I need to create my own job security. And the only way to do that is to invest in yourself. Always take a bet on yourself. You're the best bet, right? So 9 to 5, I leveraged that as to build my skill set. Everything I learned from a corporate company, like I'll start with AT&T. They have one of the best training for customer service.
Really?
I took that. And then Wells Fargo. I used to work for Wells Fargo. Great relationship building skills. I took that in. IBM, oh man, they have a great way of how to manage departments. Even the political side I like to learn about as well. So I apply that in anything I do. So not only I'm a collector of everyone I meet, I'm a collector of companies I work for, and I take in and I apply for my companies. The methods, the customer service, I turn into systems, as you know, SOPs, right? So, because they've already done all the research, the groundwork, why do I need to reinvent it, right? And then Starbucks too. There's a really good example where I love Howard Schwartz. He's very into customer service, the experience of coffee, and I apply that at my boba shop, and it reflected really well, right? So yes, 9 to 5, take it as your university of learning the ground level of the difficulty, the challenges, how to manage problems, how to manage employees. Even if you're not a manager, watch how managers do it. Watch how bad they do it and learn not to do it. There's a reason why I'm very blessed that my team at the studio has been with me for a long time. I've been telling them, like, guys, go find a real job. I need you guys to have a big career. You have a degree. But they just love it, right? Because and they tell me, because you do everything that our manager that we hate, but you do like that we love.
Yeah.
So they stay, right? And I'm very blessed for that. Thank you, team. Right. So it's that's why I do it and jumped into it, because if there's no backup plan for me, there's no lifeboat. If I fail, if I lose my job, which has happened before, I was really worried about my family, right? Because I was at the time I was their income provider, right? So I was like, okay, I gotta place a bet on myself. I gotta build these skill sets, and I messed up a lot. I started a lot of ventures that put me in crazy debt, but I learned from it too, right? And you for a person who's never failed is because they never tried, right? You got to keep trying, keep fixing things, keep optimizing. You're only a true failure if you really stop, right? If you don't stop, eventually you're going to get it right. Like, you only need one hit. Just like Thomas Edison, you only need one light bulb to work.
Yeah.
Out of the 10,000 he's made, right? Maybe more than that.
That is such a good analogy. And, oh man, so many things I want to highlight from that answer. But let's start with the boba shop. I mean, when we were talking over the phone a couple of weeks ago, trying to get to know each other a little better, and you mentioned that, I was really surprised because, again, of someone that I didn't really knew previously, I didn't really expect for you to go into that field, into that industry. But now, like when you're mentioning all the things that you gathered from your different roles, and kind of slowly start building your toolbox, I want to kind of explore and ask you about the mindset shift over those 3 years that you had the boba shop. Like, where did you start? I'm assuming really high on the motivation side, and towards the end, ready to transition to something else. But I want to know about your evolution of character within those 3 years.
Great question. And I like that toolbox analogy as well. I'll have to borrow that. Yeah. I'm collecting. Nice. Just letting you know. See how that works? Yeah. So before I opened a boba shop, first it was a passion. Like, I loved drinking boba at a time and coffee. And I was like, how great would it be to open one? Because the old phrase is, if you do what you love, it's not work at all. Well, that didn't really fall true for me, and I'll tell you why. I realized I loved drinking the drink more than I serving it, right?
Right.
But my approach was before I even open one, I hate taking risks blindly. I like to minimize my risks. And how do I do that is I data collect. And to do something like that is, especially for an industry there wasn't a lot of information on at the time. So I realized I was really good at connecting with the people, the cashier reps that was working. So I would make friends with them, and they would tell me how well each shop does in Chinatown. And then once I saw the numbers, like they actually show it to me. I'm like, okay, this is a very profitable business. Let me do this. I would gather data, again, data collect, like which drinks is most popular, why, from each boba shop. So I curate my own menu. I would travel to different places, like in California, West Coast, see which one has the ability to scale. The ones that could scale are the ones that you should pay attention to because they're doing it right. So then when I started my boba shop, and I learned from a very good friend who owned a boba shop. He was very nice enough to give some advice. Of course, he has to gatekeep some information. But one of his advice was, whatever you make, your competitors will dumpster dive and try to steal your ingredients. So everything I bought, I cut up, I rip off the label.
Really?
And then I tossed it.
Wow.
And he wasn't kidding. I did caught someone.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Like they were trying to figure out what was our ingredient to make a particular drink. It was our pink matcha at the time. Everyone was trying to figure out how to make that.
How did that happen?
It was the biggest hit. When I was taking out the trash one day, and I see some Asian guy like, "What are you doing here?" Like he's just digging in, and he's like, "Oh hey," and he just left. So I knew, okay,
wow.
that's a spy. Yeah,
I didn't know that was.
We had a lot of spies. Everyone's always asking like, "What are you using for your pink matcha?" Like, I just want to know like why. Like they was legit call, or they'll just blatantly call like, "How do you make it?" And I trained my team and I knew how to gatekeep these stuff because competitors are everywhere, right? Even at the studio, photographers like people ask like, "Hey, I'm like," sometimes they're very honest, and I like that they're bold, that they took a chance. They're like, "Hey, I'm in Kansas. I'm not a competitor to you. I'm in a different state. But how did you make your movie, or how did you start your studio?" Right? And at the time, I wasn't at capacity to share that knowledge yet. Today, in the near future, I'm thinking about doing a workshop how to open your own photography studio because I'm noticing that people are opening it and they're doing a lot of things wrong. And I want to save their pain for that, right? To steer away from that. But the approach was to minimize risk, right? Is to do the research, follow the data, and not jump in blindly. Because learning from Chipotle, they took their time in scaling out. They were in business for a while, but they had to really learn their data and study what really works. And Starbucks too. I really model off them. And so I took the same approach, took a data approach, and that's how I started the boba shop. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Two things.
Sure.
One thing that you mentioned towards the end of your response is knowing when you're ready to share your knowledge. I think that's such a accurate thing to keep in the back of your mind because, for example, people ask me like, how do you do a program? How you like? It's like, man, I don't really know. I just started investigating. But like, when did you start feeling like, okay, I'm ready to start sharing my knowledge? Not because of the business model that I've had is successful, whatever that may look for you, but also I feel like within myself, I'm ready to start giving value to other people.
When I made enough mistakes, faced enough challenges, because everyone wants to hear all the good things, but they got to know the bad things. Like the reason why I got out of the boba shop, because at the current stage and the shelf life that it was in, it was just the hype. It was not sustainable to scale. And I didn't create a business. I created a job for myself. At the end of the day, net profit was about $60,000. You just create a nice job, but you're always constantly working. And you're dealing with not the nicest people sometimes over a $6 drink, right? So I knew that this is not my future. There's no way I'm going to retire. There's no way I can see myself working here at 60, right? So I was like, you know what? I need to sell the business because I realized I need a business where I don't have to be here, where if things go wrong, I can hire a manager. Even if the manager leaves, it can still run on its own, right? I need to think this at a scale. So then that's when the photography business was like, well, actually, it was originally a film lab. It's another passion project. It was supposed to be a film lab. I had a down payment for these machines that started. Mm-hmm. As you know, these machines, they don't make them anymore. I don't know if you knew that, right? Then someone bought them all out, bought out the bid for me. So, well, crap, I already signed this 3-year lease. And I had a business partner at the time. I was like, well, what do we do? And he's like, I don't know, Davisson, figure it out. I was like, well, okay, let's just turn this to a photography studio. No one's really done that before. And I like photography. You see where it goes. And I think timing was really perfect for me. That's when the photo media was a big thing. Sara, I met Sara too as well. Yeah. I met a lot of people from it. The community was very, in that period, was very drawn to photography and content creation. Really, content creation was it because of social media. Mm-hmm. I think if social media wasn't around, the photo studio wouldn't do as great, really? Right? But it worked out. Like, I wasn't worried. I don't see problems. I see solutions. That's where I'm very delusional at. Yeah. So
I love that. I mean, I would hate myself if we go through this interview and I don't touch on, again, a little bit of Superb Studio. Yes. But I want to move into iSoMeet, As I was telling you before, like, we turn on the camera, it's like your passion towards photography, capturing the right shot. There's a lot that goes into it, but your passion is undeniable. I want to know, because there's a difference between wanting to thrive in an already established industry that has their parameters already determined, wanting to thrive within those parameters, but also something way different that is wanting to disrupt that for the better. Mm-hmm. And because, what is it? I read it, and it's creativity shouldn't be this complicated, right?
No, it should not be complicated. Yeah. It should be creative.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really simple. If you're talking about when I stepped into the photography business, it's competitive and saturated. Well, the way you compete is your customer service or yourself, mm-hmm. you as a personality, right? Same as the photography studio. I knew eventually it was going to get competitive. I just offer more amenities and I focus on customer service, right? But at some point, it's going to meet where that hit its peak, mm-hmm. right? And I realized I'm going to be in that same spot where, going back to my framework, is working at a 9-to-5. There's no job security. Mm-hmm. Now running a business, your competition, there is no security in that as well. What can I do? So I went back to that same question. What can I do to provide security? Mm-hmm. And that is to be the market maker. So I asked myself, what can be the market maker? And that is creating an app of iSoMeet. Mm-hmm. And iSoMeet is the Upwork for creatives. Upwork is mainly for remote work, virtual work for tech, hiring and posting projects to attract talents to work for you, mm-hmm. right? Where iSoMeet is hyper local. Think of it like TaskRabbit, but TaskRabbit is mainly for tasks, yeah. right? But we're hiring people locally who needs photographers, videographers, models, content creators for brands, even marketing, right? The use case would be if you're a real estate agent, you're going to need a drone operator to take pictures and videos of the house, inside and exterior. Then you're going to need a videographer to do the reels for you. Then you're going to need a video editor. Then you're going to need a photographer for your headshots for your cover. And then you're going to need maybe a makeup artist, mm-hmm. right? Or a hairstylist if you're like, you're bougie like. So there's already 5 talents involved into that. And then you have all those content. You're going to need a social media manager to push it out. And I noticed a challenge that people are making these requests, but there's no platform to bridge that. And I was like, you know what? Every time there's a challenge or problem, there's an opportunity. That's the Silicon Valley way. If there's a problem, there's an opportunity. There's money to be made.
I love that. And as soon as it was my girlfriend who told me this, it was at the engagement party, and she told me like, "Oh, you should ask him about like this app."
She's awesome.
And I was like, "Well, that's sick." When he explained to me, I was like, "That's so genius!" Like, and I'm surprised that nobody had really thought about it that way. I want to switch a little bit into two things. But first, I spoke to Sara, which is generally like the one who, in a way, introduced us to each other.
Yeah.
And she said the following about you, because I told her, hey, listen, Sara, like I'm about to interview Davisson. There's a lot of material of him that I already know, but obviously you've met him for way longer than I have. And I just I want to know like what makes him special on your eyes. And she started talking about like the business side of things. And I was like, yeah, like business, he's dope, like he knows what he's doing. But like, I want to know what makes him special, right? And sorry if I'm putting you on the spot, Sara, but
No, you're good.
she said, well, he's really humble, really thoughtful, really kind, and something that the end, she said, really always there for his people, always there for his friends, for his family.
She's sweet. She's so sweet.
Yeah, and in my eyes, I was like, it's so easy to find people that are as overachiever as you, but don't have any of the last part of the trait of being, in Spanish is servicial, in English is being of service to your people, right? Is that something that you strive to always employ on a day-to-day, or is that something that just comes natural to you?
Oh, it comes natural. Yeah, I try to be authentic as much as possible and intentional. And what I like about Sara is that greatness recognizes greatness. And the fact that she saw that right away from me, it says a lot about her character too. That's why I love her so much. She's an amazing person. And you as well. Like, for you to invite me, you saw something. Like, it really does take greatness to recognize it. And it also takes the wicked to see the wicked, right? And if I've seen too much, so I can recognize things too. But I don't use it towards any ill intent, but to dodge it, right?
I'm gonna ask you something that I feel like is going to be really valuable to our audience. A lot of like big percentage of the audience for the Reach Out podcast, as you mentioned, is college students, recent graduates, people that are just joining the workforce. And you raise a big issue with the obvious route of corporate, which is the fixed income issue, right?
Yes.
I wanted to touch a little bit more about that. What is something that people that are just graduating, that are just joining the professional world, should always keep in the back of their mind whenever assessing staying in a company or in an industry for a long time?
So I want to give an advice at the approach, like if I'm talking to them as if they're my kids, because I think that's the best approach, or even a friend. But let's just say they're my son or daughter. Is school is great to build your foundation, right? To build your personality as well, and to build your resource. And what I mean by resources, the people that you meet, take good care of them. You just don't know where it will take you. You don't know who they're going to become. You don't know the impact that they'll provide you. It's almost like a song. You meet a friend and introduce you to a new song, and if it wasn't for them, you would have never known this amazing song that provided such a permanent, everlasting impact in your life. It's like that too. Like these people that you meet, the conversations like this right here may have a very profound impact in your life that will forever change you and evolve your mind and way of thinking, right? So I would tell them, be kind, be open, make good use of your youth and your time as you're going to school, because that's where else you're going to build this resource. The best place is really school. I wasn't privileged to have that, but I did go to a lot of like invites to college, like parties, and made friends there, or even social events. And then if you work at a 9 to 5, work anywhere. Don't be scared. Like I worked at Chick-fil-A. I didn't care where I worked. As a job, I worked at Chevron gas station. Like you learn so much. Be open to learn. Be open to take any job and figure it out. I know a lot of my friends were like, they will wait for their career. If you wait, just like perfection, you wait for perfection, you wait forever. Just jump in. If I didn't work at RadioShack, if I waited to work for a big tech company, I wouldn't have met this person that led me to a big tech company, right? it's everything's a stepping stone. So I would advise like take opportunities. Just don't take anything, but take opportunities that you see you working, that best fits you. Would you use your best judgment, and experiment early on if business is even for you. I've had friends that I invite into business; they're just not meant for it. Yeah, because you have to be a self-starter. You have to have the tolerance to handle adversaries, stress. You have to be able to be okay that you are the only one that can do this, because there's gonna be no one to help you, and when you're doing something very, very new, right? Or like you're gonna have to be okay that there's some people you cannot depend on. It's just gonna be you. So quickly figure that out, and that's if business is not for you, and it's because it's not for everyone. It's okay. Then focus on being the best employee, right? Be a high income earner, hit that dream, be a C-level, because you can make just as much money than a business owner by being a high earner C-level. Yeah.
I love that advice, and I think it's going to be resounding for a long time to all of the listeners, all of the viewers. This is my favorite and last question of the interview, Davisson. Pretty straightforward. I just want to know what makes you happy.
Seeing other people happy, man. Yeah, like just wholesome activities, and yeah, just anything I do, if I can provide impact, like friends, family, loved ones, just seeing them happy.
I love
it. Makes me happy. Yeah.
Man, Davisson, again, thank you for accepting this invitation for this interview. First interview of the year. I'm just really, really grateful to not only continue with this project, but also for the time that you have allowed me to get to know you better. Just know that in me, you have a new friend.
Thank you.
And I'm really excited for all your projects. And with that said, I just want to give you the time for all the people out there listening. Where can they find you? What new projects you have that are cool that they should check them out in the city of Houston or outside of the city of Houston? This is your moment, man.
Thank you, Pablo. And thank you again for having me here. Where you guys find me, Davisson Nguyen, is really easy to find my name on LinkedIn. That's a good way to keep in touch with me. And for the app, iSoMeet is isomeet.com, MEET. Be on the lookout. We should be launching very soon. I wouldn't say March. It got pushed back. But join the waiting list, because you're going to want to sign up and not miss out on earning income that to be a creative as well. So
awesome.
Thank you, Pablo. Yeah.
You opened a Pilates studio as well.
I did open a Pilates studio. It's called Glow Pilates, GLO Pilates.
I'm telling you guys, go in the website right now, because
yes.
I got to talk to you after this.
Yes.
Last night, I scheduled for me and my girlfriend a class for next Saturday.
Yep.
This morning, I was like, I'm going to invite 2 other people. I'm in the wait list. Guys,
you're the real one for that. You're the real one.
You guys need to join now, because I've never done Pilates. I'm really excited to do it. But for all the other projects, go check them out. You're missing out if you're not. And with that said, I just want to thank you guys all over again for joining in, for tuning in. And I see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.